welcome back to the studio. My name is Lauren, if you're not familiar. I make ceramics under the name From Tree to Sea. You can follow me over here. Welcome back to the studio, or welcome to the studio if you're new. I am so excited. I am on the precipice of starting production for my December market coming up. I'm going to do Odd Bird Fair, which is in Edmonton. I did the spring one this year in May, and it was amazing. Edmonton really showed up, and the arts community up there was so supportive and so kind and so welcoming. And so I'm going back for the holiday version, and I have never done this holiday market before, but I've heard really, really great things. And so I'm just about to start all my scheming and planning and most importantly making. And I find that y'all seem to really like my 1 month of working on a collection kind of videos, and so I'm starting this one right now. So far in the planning process, all I have is a list of things that I want to make on my phone, but I think I need to narrow that down a little bit, do a little brainstorming. And so this is just gonna be maybe a vlog series, a studio diary series of me getting ready for my holiday market. So yeah, this is obviously episode 1, and you would think that episode 1 would start with all the planning and scheming, but I am just really in the mood to get my hands in clay and on the wheel today. So we're actually gonna do some throwing today. We're starting with a bang. We're starting on the wheel. We're gonna throw a bunch of brown cups. I know that I already wanna make cups for this event. Cups are usually a pretty good seller. Mugs are usually an even better seller. But I don't know, in the last few markets I've been to, there have been lots of people who are like, oh, I don't have room for another mug. I want something different. So alongside mugs, we're going to do a bunch of things that are a little bit different. It also gives me a chance to play with forms outside of just a mug shape, which I love a good classic handmade mug, but I've also been doing this for a long time, so I don't know. I kind of want to keep it fresh and exciting for myself as well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Let's start with making some cups. Okay, first things first, I have to put my hair up. I have no hair clip with me today. I don't know how I forgot that. So I just have one of these little spridly hair elastics. So we're just gonna make do with what we have. I recently got this little sweater shirt, and it is, I think, one of my favorite colors on me. I love a bright color. And these are my favorite throwing pants. They're just some barrel jeans, but the black is great for throwing with brown clay. I have my little wedging board, and today we're just going to start with some of my grogless brown clay. This clay is not speckled, it's just brown. It's actually the clay that you've maybe seen me use before, if you're familiar. This is the clay we're going to use for the cups, and this is just a tiger planter. I have kicking it at the studio right now. I love this clay, but I mostly love it when it's fired kind of almost not all the way to cone 6. Because it's just a nice warm brown, but if you overfire it at all, even a little bit past cone 6, it becomes more a grayish brown, almost like the color of this wedging table. So this will be my first time throwing in probably over a month, which is a little crazy, but I've just been in painting, finishing, selling stage for a while, and so I am really excited to get on the wheel, but I kind of want to take it easy on my delicate little wrists and arms. So we're going to start off with wedging 10 balls of clay for 10 cups. And some of those might even end up being mug bodies instead. We'll see. But yeah. This was a few years ago, but I ended up getting tendinitis from too much repetitive throwing. And so now I'm quite careful about how I treat my hands and my back. Honestly, hunching over is kind of inevitable with pottery, unfortunately, so that's not great, but we do what we must, and it's all about kind of stretching and strengthening your body in other ways, especially when you have to do the same motion over and over again. So for each of these cups, I'm probably going to do around a pound, maybe 1.25 pounds is Yeah, I think that's perfect. And I actually have a video on my Patreon about how I throw things consistently. And the example that I did in there, the example form, was actually these same tumblers. They're kind of like, I actually don't have one available to show you, but they're just like a straight up and down form with like a little bit of a curved lip. And I just think that's like a nice little feature to add on to what would maybe otherwise be like a pretty basic and boring shape, dare I say. And I'd say this is like one of the most important things about throwing consistently is measuring out your clay and making sure it all weighs the same. Sometimes I don't know if my audience is like people who are very familiar with pottery, and so hearing me explain stuff is like boring, or if it's people who are new to pottery, and so hearing me explain stuff is helpful and exciting. Or maybe it's just people who just enjoy like casual watching somebody make something. I get that. I do too. I've lately been on such a tangent of watching crochet and knitting vlogs. I actually just finished my first crochet project of the year. It was like a bonnet scarf for my friend Rima for our friendship anniversary. I think she really liked it. It was actually this exact green color, which I personally think looks so great on most people, but especially people with like long dark hair. Or just dark hair in general. But yeah, I've been watching lots of crochet and knitting content, which I find relaxing. I think like watching other people do ceramics, I don't find so relaxing, I guess because it's work related. But seeing people do like a craft that I take very casually in my own life, I find that very soothing. And if anybody's interested in who I recommend to watch, let me know, because I will let you know who I love to watch. I guess I could just let you know. There are a couple people. Honestly, I'm not going to remember everybody's names right now, but Paula Aver, Alexa Kari, Natasha. I can't remember what her YouTube name is. And then apart from knitting crochet videos, I've been watching a lot of like video essays on art and artists and like creating learning ecosystems, because that's something I'm interested in focusing on in the new year. I would love to do it now, but I just don't feel like I have that much disposable time at this time of year. And it's something I probably could have done in the summer, but I was not really dialed in. I was kind of just trying to have fun and do my thing. And then here we are. It's like October. Currently, as I'm talking to you, it is October 10th. It's my mom's birthday. I can't believe we're already at this time of the year. It feels like it came very quickly. I really feel it mostly about like being outside. And not to say I wasn't outside a lot this summer, but I just feel like normally I'm outside way more. And we also didn't go camping very much this summer, which is kind of sad. But to be fair, Taylor was traveling a lot for work, and then also it was quite a rainy summer, so I guess that's also why we didn't go that much. I mean, to be honest, I kind of feel that way every fall when we get to this time of year. I'm like, I should have spent more time outside, even though, I don't know, I did my best to. Okay, I didn't even end up counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9, because this is not enough for one ball, and I don't feel like opening another fresh bag right now, so we're gonna do 9, which I think is an excellent starting place regardless. So that's how much I made each ball of clay, approximately. Okay, now I'm just gonna do some throwing, and I'm not gonna talk to y'all because I need to just dial it in, so enjoy some throwing visuals with some either soothing music or like lo-fi music. We'll see when I decide when this gets to the editing floor. Okay, day one, and we have 8 cups, and I think that's pretty good progress for the first day. I am currently doing a new gig where I am kind of taking on some studio management stuff for my own studio, Neverland. So today I am giving someone a tour of the boutique so that they can hold their event in here. And I just wanted to open up all the curtains so they can see like how bright it actually is. I love this space. I did a show here in 2021 and it's very cool. They've done a lot to it since then actually. Like this roof is very, very cool, very interesting texturally. And then all these curtains actually can pull in to like hide behind where the front door is. There are all these tables and chairs that people can use for events. And this is where I'm gonna be holding my 2025 holiday clay classes. So my ornament making workshops and my mug making workshops, which is very exciting. And yeah, I feel very lucky that this space is like attached to the studio. Because I've been hand building like crazy. My hands are very dry. It's nice that it comes with like a little screw top because like that's just easier for me to have in the studio, honestly. Welcome back to the studio, friends. I feel like my hair is crazy today, but we're gonna ignore that. I'm here in the studio in the evening right now because I have an event happening in a couple hours. So I'm gonna go set up soon. I'm gonna bring my stuff on the shelf with me, but because I have a little bit of time and I have a bunch of mugs that I need to trim, mug bodies, and I have handles made that I need to attach. We're gonna do that. I'm excited for this event, but I'm also not feeling 100% because yesterday I had like a really big fall, which falling as an adult is always so embarrassing and feels very silly, but obviously it happens. Anyway, I fell so hard that I like thought I maybe had fractured my hip bone. I couldn't put any weight on it for like half an hour after it happened. So I called 811, which is Alberta's health link. It's basically like non-emergency medical advice you can get from a triage nurse. And I described to her what was happening and she told me to get an ambulance and go to the hospital and get x-rays done right away. So I was being wheeled around in a wheelchair before I like knew what the case was because I didn't want to put any pressure on my hip. Turns out no fractures, no breaks, we're good to go. So I'm so relieved because I was so worried about just not being able to work at all. Obviously when you work for yourself, like you're so reliant on your body being able to do stuff. Anyway, it's all good. I'm just very, very sore today on my entire left side. And obviously I can like walk around and stuff now, which is amazing. I'm happy it wasn't worse. And then the rest of the weekend, I'm really gonna relax. Like all morning I was just laying down on the couch with Remy and taking it very easy. And I started already like piling up all my stuff for the pop-up. Do I see what I'm wearing today? I like my outfit. I was kind of unsure about it, but also excuse my messy studio. I don't think there's anywhere where I can get like a full angle of my outfit. Oh, okay. This is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my little airbrush socks to give me strength. Can I even lift up my foot? I can lift up this foot. Hold on. These are from Okie Dokie socks. I think they're made in Toronto. I got them last year when I was in Toronto. or 2 years ago maybe now. I've been ready to cozy up for like so long now, but it's so hot out today. It feels like summer again. Honestly, I probably could have done this without this shirt, but I kind of just felt like being more flowy. Okay, let's get to trimming. Okay, this is your mid-video reminder that if you're looking to build a beautiful website, Squarespace is a platform to help you do it. Creating a beautiful, professional working website can feel very overwhelming, but with Squarespace, it's super easy to get started and get going quickly. It's built for anyone to use at home with no coding required. You can integrate everything from buying your domain name to choosing your website template, all of which are super customizable, and you can even use their new design intelligence to create the website of your dreams. Whether it be an online shop where you sell all your products, a blog, or somewhere that you share your services with others, the Squarespace commerce platform makes managing everything from orders to inventory to sales and customers simple. And you can also easily link all your social media accounts to your Squarespace website in just a few clicks. You can get a free 2-week trial with the link down below, or you can go to squarespace.com and use the code from Tree to Sea for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Today is putting handles on mugs kind of day. I actually have already been here for a while. I did a little bit of trimming. I actually had Rima in the studio. We were doing a little working day, and I honestly feel like I have not been this productive in a while. There's something about the body doubling that really puts me in the mood to work. We were just like yapping the whole time she was here. It was so fun. I also finished quite a few tigers, and oh my gosh, the shrinkage rate though is kind of killing me. Look how small they've gotten. They shrank so much, but it's okay. I think they're actually cuter when they're smaller, but I might try to make a few more that are a little bit bigger because I want to be able to offer them in like a few slightly different sizes. But yeah, so far so good. I am actually going to share a bisque with Rima next week unexpectedly. She's just going to have some room and she has to do a firing, so I'm really glad I threw a bunch of stuff last week and it's like already dry and ready to go. It's been super rainy today and cozy, but it's like the perfect day to just be in the studio. Honestly, I love days like today when I can just like get to work and I'm not distracted by the nice weather outside. So yeah, join me. Let's put on some handles. I'm obviously back in the studio. I have been debating whether I want to throw more speckled mugs because I know I need to throw more, but honestly my hands are so beat up from throwing with that clay over the last 2 days. I took a long break from throwing with my speckled clay. It's just quite groggy, and so it kind of shreds up my hands, especially now that it's cold. My hands are already dry. I also live in Alberta, which is like, I like to think of it as like desert weather. It's so dry. So I'm debating now if I give my hands a little break and throw with some white clay. And I've been thinking about what I want to throw with white clay. And I'm thinking I want to do some more matcha bowls because those have been requested on Instagram. And I definitely want to do some more jars. And then I'm also thinking maybe I should hand build a couple more like cutesy little things to go with some of the things I already have bisqued. So for example, my butter dish that y'all saw in my previous vlog, maybe doing another one of those would be fun. I guess that's hand building though, so I don't have to really worry about that. I tend to like to get all my throwing done first because when I throw, stuff needs time to set up, and so I like to throw all my pieces, have them sitting in the studio for a while I work on other stuff, so like hand building or computer stuff. I'm also trying to post a little drop online with just everything I have on the shelves currently. So I took some photos yesterday, and I think I'm gonna try and edit those today or tonight and get them in the shop to post about tomorrow. I need to start building up some more hype for the workshops. I think they're just over halfway sold out, the workshops, and it's currently the end of October, so I technically have like about a month left until the workshops are actually happening. And so once November actually hits, my plan is to kind of go a little harder with promotion. I don't know. It's so weird because obviously this is my job, but I always feel like so meh about being like, buy this thing on the internet. Again, it's like part of my job, but I think times are tough out here right now. And like, I know that I personally don't really have a ton of disposable income to spend on art right now. Like art, I think a lot of people look at as a luxury expense. Obviously you don't need it to survive, though I don't necessarily agree with that. I do feel like I need it to survive, but I am lucky to be like surrounded by so much art in my life and so much work from other people. And also I'm very lucky that I'm like in a position to do trades. So I feel like sometimes I still feel like I'm acquiring art without spending money, even though I'm trading the value. I don't know. I love trades. I feel like often when I can do them, I'll do them. But yeah. And then apart from that, I have so much painting to do. I'm back to painting at home. I think I talked about this, like I don't love to always bring work home because I really like for there to be a balance between my home life and my work life, and they seem to keep overlapping even though I'm trying my best to put a boundary on it. But it's also like 'tis the season. I love the throwing stage, but like everything just to me, especially because I'm someone who films for YouTube, everything just looks so boring to me right now because it's all just like brown. Like there's no excitement to like a plain mug to me. Because I just kind of throw the same form and I get into the zone, and like the painting is really what brings a piece to life and like makes it unique. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I just felt like chatting this morning. I have decided that I'm gonna give my hands a little break and maybe save the speckled throwing for tomorrow. And today I'm gonna throw some more jars because they were such a hit at the last Odd Bird. And I also think a jar is like such a cutie little gift. And also, it's something fun for me to make because as much as I love making mugs, like it just is so repetitive that it gets to a point where I'm like over it. So yeah, we're gonna put this to the side. This is my wedging board for my speckled clay. If you're new here, hi. I label all my wedging boards for the different types of clay that I use, and I just keep them all separate. They're all under my desk there. And funnily enough, Taylor has his own wedging board because he was adamant about using speckled white clay, which I don't really use that much in the studio, so he has his own board for that. And it's been there for years now. Okay, I haven't thrown jars in a while, so I have a feeling I'm gonna be like a wee bit rusty, but we'll see. Also, I've been gracing you with my little iPhone, but I think I'm gonna switch to my good camera because I think watching the process on clearer camera footage just feels so much better to me, even when I'm editing. When it's on an iPhone, I'm like, the quality is just not there. I don't like it. Hello and good morning from the studio. I haven't been like face-to-face filming very much just because usually when I get in here I'm just like getting to work, but I'm just feeling particularly grateful on this day to have a studio and to have a space to create, and so I just thought I'd turn the camera on. So I think my plan for today is to trim those jars that I made yesterday and also trim all my speckled brown clay mug bodies. I yesterday put them all into bins because they were just on the shelf on their little boards with plastic on top, and I got kind of worried that they were gonna dry out because the way my studio is, like in the afternoon / evening, I just get blasted with sun like directly onto the shelves, so I was getting worried they were getting too hard to trim. So I think today is just lots of trimming, and I think I'll also, before I start trimming, maybe roll out some handles for the mugs just so I have them, because kind of like the timing usually works out. If I make the handles in the morning, by the time everything's done trimming, I'm like ready to put the handles on. So that's my goal today, is just to finish up all these mugs. I think I have about 16 mugs to finish, and then I threw 9 jars. Maybe next week I'll make the little toppers for them. Okay, let's do handles first.